Hi folks, my name is Darren Gerdes and here's the daily brief. So the shelling keeps coming. There's nothing new here. At least 2 civilians killed in latest Russian attacks and large-scale air alert. So the Russians constantly talk about how they only hit military targets, which is why a man was killed and his wife was wounded in Russian shelling. This is apparently a military target. Earlier on January 30th, Ukrainian air defenses shot down only 15 out of 35 drones launched by Russian military. Russian forces also launched 30 S-300 anti-aircraft missiles at civilian infrastructure in Donetsk and Kherson regions. Okay, so I mean, there's a constant refrain. We only hit military targets. We only hit military targets. But we can see with our own eyes that that's not so, which talks to the credibility of the Russians. And I'm going to get to that credibility issue in just a moment. Yesterday, 960 Russians off the battlefield, 10 tanks. And now if you do the math, they can produce about 100 a month or a little more than 3 a day. And if 10 are eliminated from the battlefield, that's a net positive day. They also lost 1 military jet, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. Ukraine downs a Russian Su-34 fighter jet over Luhansk. And there's not a lot of details here, but that's a $36 million day. So that's a good day whenever you can down a jet. And it's been confirmed a couple of times. Okay, so here's why the credibility issue is there. It's not true. Ukraine's defense ministry responds to reports that Zaluzhny has been fired, and that I thought that was internally whatever's going on within Ukraine. But as I'm reading Russian propaganda about it in Pravda, it feels like, and I can't prove this, but it feels like it was started as a propaganda effort. There was another one like this that he'd been killed. And of course, that's kind of bizarre because you can always just put the person forward and show I'm not dead. The news first appeared in anonymous Telegram channels, and then afterwards it was carried by someone reputable, Alexei Gershenko, and then it just festered. But then, as I'm reading others, like Poroshenko says, the dismissal of rumors shocked the EU, and I was thinking, it really sounds like it was just kind of made up in order to create tension, but I don't know that for a fact. I'm just telling you what my gut says, and my gut could be wrong. I could have just had some bad breakfast or something. Okay, NATO chief huddles with Trump allies in long shot and Ukraine funding push. So Jens Stoltenberg, the chief of NATO, is in the United States. The longest serving chief of the alliance's history will deliver a speech at the Heritage Foundation on Wednesday. And if you don't know what that is, it's a conservative think tank, and it has moved very much into a isolationist kind of space over time. It used to be very like old school conservative like me, and it is shifted significantly. It had Orban for a speaker and things along these lines. But we'll see what comes of it. The visit comes as Trump allies press Republicans to reject a $111 billion package that includes aid to Ukraine. Now, he didn't waste his time. On Monday, Stoltenberg sat down with friendly audience at the Pentagon, and he's familiar with all of those folks there. And Stoltenberg will swing through Congress today. This is Tuesday, meeting with White House Speaker Mike Johnson, Minority Leader Jeffries, Senate Minority Leader McConnell, and others from both parties. So Stoltenberg carries a certain cachet and a real understanding of what's going on the ground and what can happen if they make a wrong move. So if anyone's going to be able to be persuasive, perhaps he will be able to be, but we'll see. Okay. That's the news for today. Thank you for your time, the shares, the likes, the subscribes, and thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.